Hi students, good morning everyone. So students, today we will study computer and this is of class 5th and 6th, both the classes for class 5th and 6th, okay? And today's topic is formatting in MS Word 2013. We will study the different formatting options that is available in MS Word 2013. How can you format your text that you have done in your MS Word document, okay? So students, let us begin with the contents and see what are the contents in this chapter that we will study today, okay? So students, the different formatting option that is present in this chapter are like line spacing, okay? Then borders and shading. How can you change the border and shading? Then margins, then indentations, then headers and footers, page border and quick print. So these are the contents that you will study in this chapter. Okay, so now let us begin with the line spacing first. So students, let us begin with line spacing. But before that, let me tell you what is formatting. What do you mean by formatting? Formatting means changing the appearance of the text that you have typed in your document. You can change the appearance of the text that you have typed in the document to make it more attractive. That is why we format our text. Okay, to make the text to look more attractive, that is why we format the text. And formatting means changing the appearance of the text in the document, by which we can make it look more attractive. Okay, so the first one is line spacing. There are in the previous class we studied about the different types of formatting, right? In this chapter we will study some more advanced features of formatting in MS Word. Okay, so let us begin with line spacing. Now students, what is line spacing? Line spacing is the vertical distance between lines of text. The text that you have typed in your document, the space between two lines, that is called as the line spacing. It is the vertical distance between the text that you have typed in your document. Okay? Then we can alter space between lines in a Word document by using the line and paragraph spacing option. And we can also give space between the line in the Word document by using the line and paragraph spacing option, by which option you can give space between the text or between the lines in your Word document by using the line and paragraph space option. Okay? Then the steps to format line spacing are as follows. These are the following steps by which you can format the line space. You can format the space between the lines in the Word document. Okay, so these are the following steps. First of all, what will you do? You will select the text whose line spacing is to be adjusted. You will select the particular text which you want to adjust the line. Okay, then click on the Home tab. After selecting the text, you will click on the Home tab. Okay, that is available on the ribbon. Okay, on the top of the Word document page. You will find the Home tab there. And after that, in the paragraph group, and that Home tab is separated into different groups. You will click on in the paragraph group, you will choose the paragraph group and you will click on line and paragraph spacing button. Where will you click? You will click on the line and paragraph spacing button. Okay. Then the fourth point is a list with different line spacing option will appear. When you click on the line and paragraph spacing button, you will see different spacing option will appear. You can select any one of the option from the list. The space between the lines will be adjusted. Okay, there are different options that you will See, when you click on the line and paragraph spacing button, different spacing option will appear. You can choose according to your requirement and the space between the lines in your document will be adjusted. So this is how you will apply the line spacing feature in your Word document. You can format the lines between the line. You can format the space between the lines of the text in your Word document. Okay? Now students, how will you format the borders and shading? Okay, how will you format the borders in your Word document and shading? Border and shading is added in a document to enrich it and make it look more attractive and noticeable. Why do we add border or why do we shade the text? So that it looks more attractive and more noticeable. When you want to highlight something, you add border or you shade that particular sentence or text. Yes or no? It makes it looks more attractive and it makes it looks more noticeable. Okay? Then MS Word allows to add a border to a paragraph or the entire document. And this MS Word, it allows us to add border to a paragraph that you have written in your document or the entire document. Okay? Then it also allows to specify what side we want to include or exclude. For example, we can add a border to the left and the right of the text, leaving the top and bottom open. And according to your want, you can, if you want to include the text or if you want to exclude. Include means if you want to keep that text, or if you want exclude means if you want to delete that particular text from your Word document, you can choose it and you can add border according to your requirement in the Word document. Okay, then we can make changes in the borders and shading in the border and shading dialog box. And what is dialog box? It is a list of options that appears in the MS Word page. Okay, that is the list of options that is present in the MS Word. That is dialog box, and we can make changes in the border and shading in the border and shading dialog box. There is a border and shading dialog box where when you click you will find different types of option and accordingly you can change it. Okay? And now students, how will you add border and shades around your text? How will you format it? See, steps to add border. These are the following steps that you will follow to add border in your Word document. Okay? Now see, what are the following steps? First one is to add border in your document. The first step is select the text. You have to select the required text in which you want to add border. Okay? Then click on the Home tab. After selecting the text, you click on the Home tab. In the paragraph group, after clicking on the Home tab, there are different groups, different section of the groups where you will find different option for formatting. And you will choose which group. You will choose the paragraph group. Click on the drop down arrow of the border button. And then you have to click down on the drop down arrow of the border button. And after that, a list containing different border will appear. When you click on the drop down arrow of the border button, after that a list containing different border will appear. Then you can select the desired option or the desired border which you want to add in your text, and the border will appear around the selected area. The selected text that you have chosen, you will see the border is applied there. Okay, so these are the 4 following steps to add border in your text. And now how to apply shading to the selected text. How can you shade the selected text? The text that you have selected, how can you shade it? How can you highlight it? Okay, the first step is select the text which you want to apply shading. First, what you have to do, you have to select the text which you want to apply the shading. Okay, then after that, in the paragraph group of the home button, then again in the paragraph group, you will choose the paragraph group in the home button. Click on the drop down arrow key of the shading button. Then again you have to click down on the drop down arrow key of the shading button. Then a theme color box will switch of different colors will appear. A theme color box with swatches of different colors, swatches means of different types of color will appear. Select the desired color from it, then the selected area will be shaded or highlighted. This is how you can add border and shade around your text. Okay? And now students, how will you add margins? Now what is margin? You know now what is margin? It is the space between text and an edge of the document, that is known as margin. The space between the text and the edge of the document. Document is a blank page. Yes or no? The space between the text and the page, that is the margin. Okay, what is document? It is the blank page on the MS Word worksheet. Okay, and that page is the text between the space between the text and the edge of the document is known as margin. Then it is a page layout term used in both print and web publishing, and it is also a page layout term. You can take it out in both print and web publishing. You can print the page or you can web publish it. Then the default setting for new document margin is normal. And what is the default setting? The default setting of the new document's margin is normal. Normal is the default setting of the new document margin. Okay, that means the preferred setting. Then what are the following steps to format the margin in the Word document? See, first you have to click on the page layout tab. There is an option in the ribbon where you will find the page layout tab. You click on the page layout tab. After that, in the page setup group, click on the margin button. After clicking on the page layout tab, in the page setup group, you will click on the margin button. The page setup group will appear in the page layout tab. In that, you will go and you will click on the margin button. Okay. Then a menu with option will appear. Observe that the option normal is selected by default. And then a menu with option will appear. Menu means a list with option will appear, where you have to see and select the normal default option. What you will select? You will select the normal default option. Okay, and after that, click on any predefined margin size you desired, and you can select any margin size that you desired. Whatever size you want to apply on the page, you can select it and you can apply. So this is how you will format the margin in the Word, in MS Word. Okay. And now students, we can also customize margins to set customized margins values. That means we can also edit margin. Okay, and we can set different margin values. Now what are the steps to do it? In the page layout tab, okay, there is a group in the page layout tab. Click margin and select custom margin. What will you do? How can you edit the margin? First you have to click on the page layout tab, and after that you will click on the margin and select custom margin. After that, the page setup dialog box will appear. After you select the custom margin, a page setup dialog box, a box with different options will appear. Enter the margin value for each side. You can enter any value. If you want to increase, you can increase the margin. If you want to decrease, you can decrease the margin. Any value if you enter for each side of the page in the top, left, bottom and right fields. Okay, you can enter any margin value for the top margin, bottom margin, left margin or right margin. And after that, you click on OK after entering the desired value. Once you enter the desired value, then you click on OK and accordingly the margin of the page will be adjusted. Understood? And now students, what is indentation? Okay, and indentation is the distance between the text and the margin of the page. This indentation is the distance between the text of the paragraph that you have written in your Word document and between the margin of the page, of the document page. Okay, now margins and indentations are two factors in a Word document by which the arrangement of the text is determined. The text that you write, something that you write in the MS Word document, it has to be set up, yes or no? This margin and indentation, these are the two factors by which the arrangement of the text is determined. How the text is arranged in the Word document, it is determined by this margin and indentations. Okay, the paragraph indentation can be seen as an empty space between the margin and the beginning of the paragraph. The paragraph indentation, that means the gap between the margin and the paragraph. When we write the answer, we leave some space in between from the margin and the text of the paragraph, yes or no? So that space is called as the indentation, paragraph indentation. It is the space, it is an empty space between the margin at the beginning, that is the first line of the paragraph. The first sentence or the first word which you use, you leave some space and after that you start writing. So that is the paragraph indentation. Okay. Now the word indent is used to describe the distance between the text and the margin. This word indent is used to describe the distance between the text and the margin. Okay. Now indentation, indenting every line of a paragraph excluding the first line is known as hanging indent. Now what is hanging indent? Hanging indent is indenting every line of a paragraph excluding the first line. The first line, not taking the first line and indenting every line of the paragraph is known as hanging indent. And how can you change this indent? When you see the Word document page in MS Word, on the top of the page you will see two arrows facing each other. Those are the indents. According to it, you can set up the margins or you can set up the place of the text from where you want to start typing. Okay, so those are the indentations. The different ways of adding indents to a Word document are. Now, what are the different steps by which you can add indents to a Word document? The first one is using the indent command. By using the indent command, then by using the tab selector moves the text left to right. Okay, then using the tab key. By using the tab key also you can adjust the space between the text and the margin in a Word document while writing the text. Okay. And now students, how can you use the indent command? What are the different steps to use the indent command? Okay. To indent all the lines of a paragraph, that means to give some space between all the lines of the paragraph, we use indent command in the home tab. In the home tab, you will find the indent command by which you can indent all the lines of a paragraph. Indent means by which you can provide space between the text and the margin. Okay. Now these are the following steps below. First, you will select the text. First of all, you will select the text, and after that, in the paragraph group of home tab, when you go on the home tab, you will find the paragraph group. Okay, you will go in the paragraph group of the home tab, click on the increase indent button or increase the indent. And after going that, which option will you choose? You will click on the increase indent button or increase the indent. Okay. Then click on the decrease indent button to decrease the indent. To increase, you will click on the increase indent button, and to decrease the indent, that means the space between the text and the margin, you will click on the decrease indent button. Okay. And if you would prefer to type in your indent values, and if you want to give your own indent space, indent values means you can give your own space. How much space you want, there is the value, you can change it. Okay, there is a small box will appear where you can give your own values to indent the lines of a paragraph. Okay. If you would prefer to type in your own indent values, you can use the indent field on the page layout tab. And if you want to give the own values, you can go to the indent field on the page layout tab. You will find the indent field in the page layout tab where you can go and you can give your own value according to which you want to give the space between the text and the margin of the document. Okay. Now students, using the tab selector, how can you use this tab selector now? The tab selector is placed above the vertical ruler of the left. When we hold over the tab selector, it displays the name of the type of the tab stop, that is active. This tab selector is placed above the vertical ruler on the left. On the left side, you will see this tab selector which is placed on the vertical ruler on the left side of the Word document page. Okay. Then when we hold over the tab selector, it displays the name of the type of the tab that is active. Which tab is active? When we hold this tab selector, we come to know that which tab is active. And this tab selector is found on the vertical ruler on the left side of the Word document page. Now the different types of tab stop are, what are the different types of tab stop? First, line indent marker bar tab. It is first line indent marker bar tab. And what does this do? It indents the first line of the paragraph in the text. It gives space between the first line of the paragraph in the text. Then hanging indent marker bar tab. It is hanging indent marker bar tab. It indents all lines in the document except the first line. It gives space between all the lines in the document except the first line. Okay. Then left indent marker bar tab. Left indent marker bar tab. Now what does this do? It moves both the first line indent and hanging indent markers simultaneously. It moves both the first line indent and hanging indent to give the space between the text in the document simultaneously. Okay. So now students, using the tab tab key. How can you use the tab key? See, this tab key can also be used in the keyboard. In the keyboard on the left hand side, you can see there is a tab key with two arrows in the right side and in the left side. What does this do? It moves the text towards the left and right. It moves the text that you are writing in the document. It moves the text from left to right. Okay. Tab key can also be used on the keyboard. It creates a first line indent of ½ inch. It gives a gap between the text of ½ inch. It gives a space between the margin and the text of ½ inch. Okay. Then the steps to use the tab key for indenting text are as follows. What are the steps now to indent the tab key? Okay. First, place the cursor at the very beginning of the paragraph you wish to indent. The text that you have typed, you bring the cursor to the beginning of the paragraph where you want to indent, where you want to give space. And then after that, now press the tab key. After that, you can press the tab key. And on the ruler, you will see that the first line indent marker moves to the right by ½ inch. And when you press the tab key, you will see on the ruler that the first line indent is moved to the right side by ½ inch. It gives a space of ½ inch, of every ½ inch. Understood? First, you will place the cursor at the very beginning of the paragraph where you wish to indent, and after that, press the tab key, and on the ruler you can see that the first line indent marker moves to the right by ½ inch. By ½ inch gap, it will move towards the right side of the page document in the Word. Okay? And now students, what is headers and footers? What is headers and footers? See, headers and footers are piece of text or graphics that appear at the top and bottom of the page respectively. It is the piece of text or graphic which appear at the top of the page and at the bottom of the page. On the top of the page you will see header, and on the bottom of the page you will find footer. It is a piece of text or graphic. That means not a big paragraph to be written. It is only a text or graphic that appear at the top and bottom of the page. In the Word, you will find the page, and there you will find the header and footer, which is a piece of text or graphic that is written on the top of the page or at the bottom of the page. Alright, then additional information can be added in a document like page number, date, and document name with the header and footer option provided in the MS Word. And with the help of this header and footer, you can apply some more additional information like date or the page of the the number page. Okay. Then document name. What is the name of the document that you are typing? These are the additional information which you can provide with the help of this header and footer, and this header and footer option you will find in the MS Word document. Okay. Then header and footer is a way to display same information either at the top means the header, or bottom, that is the footer of every page in a document. It is a way to display the same information. It is used to display the information that you have typed either at the top of the page or either at the bottom of the page. Alright. Then the header is section of the document that appear in the top margin, while footer is the section of the document that appear at the bottom of every page in the Word document, that appear in the bottom. Header, it appears on the top of the document. It appears at the top margin of the document, and footer appear at at the bottom margin of the document. Understood? These header and footer are the piece of text or graphic that appears at the bottom and top of the page. Understood? And now students, how can you add header and footer in your page? See, these are the following steps by which you can add header and footer in your page. Okay? Click on the insert tab. First, where will you click? You will click on the insert tab that you will find in the ribbon. Okay? Then, in the header and footer group, when you click on the insert tab, you will find the header and footer group. You go in the header and footer group and then click either the header or footer button, whichever you want to. If you want to add header, you click on the header button. If you want to add footer, you can go and click on the footer option. Okay? Then a drop down menu will appear. After clicking on the header and footer option, a drop down menu will appear. From the drop down menu, choose one of the built-in option. There you will find the built-in option. Whichever you want to choose, you choose it. And after that, the header or footer will appear in the document. When you choose the built-in option, the header or footer will appear in the document of the MS Word page. And after that, also the design tab will appear on the ribbon tab. Along with it, the design tab will also appear on the ribbon. Understood? Then type the desired information into the header or footer section. Whatever information you want to type, you can type into the header or footer section. Okay? And when you finish, click on close header and footer in the design tab. And when you are done with formatting the header and footer in the page, you click on close header and footer in the design tab. There is a close option. You click there and the header and footer will be closed, and this close option you will find in the design tab, or simply you can press the escape key, that is ESC key, that is the escape key. Okay? Students, there are various header and footer options available in MS Word. Okay, there are various kinds of header and footer option that is available in the MS Word, and those are inserting date or time into header or footer. You can insert date or time into header or footer. Then inserting page number. You can also insert page number in your page. Then removing header or footer. You can also remove the header and footer from the page of your document. Okay? So now students, steps to insert date or time into header or footer. How can you insert or add date or time into the header or footer? The first point is double click anywhere on the header and footer to unlock it. Okay, what will you do? You will click on the header and footer, double click on it, and that will be unlocked, and after unlocking it you can type. The design tab will appear. When once the header and footer is unlocked, the design tab will appear. Okay, then number 2, in the insert group, you will go in the insert group, then click on date and time button. You will choose the date and time button. Okay, then number 3, select a date or time format from the date and time dialog box that appear. You can choose accordingly what date or what time you want to add in the date and time dialog box. There is a dialog box with different options will appear. From there you can choose and select whatever time or date you want to format in the header or footer. Okay, now click on OK. The date or time will now appear in the document, and when you add the date and time, that date and time will appear in your document. This is how you can insert date or time into header or footer. First you will click on the header and footer to unlock it. Then the design tab will appear. After that, in the insert group, choose the date and time button and select a date and time format from the date and time dialog box that appears with different options, and after that click on OK. The date and time will appear in your document page. Alright. And now students, what are the steps to insert page number in a document? How can you insert page number in a document? First, double click anywhere on the header and footer to unlock it. The same method. First, you will double click on the header and footer. Okay. Then after that, the design tab will appear. The design tab will appear. In the header and footer group, click on the page number command. And then in that group, you will click on the page number command. A command group will appear where you will click on the page number command. And a menu will appear with a list of different options. Choose the desired option, and when you click on the page number command, the different options will be appear, and then you can choose any desired option you want to. Understood? Then steps to remove header and footer. How can you remove header and footer? Okay. First, to remove a header, click on the header button and select remove header from the list of options. To remove the header, you will select the header button and then you will select remove header from the list of options. There is a list. A list will appear where below you will find remove header. You will find the option remove header. You go and you just click there. The header will be removed from your page. Okay. And then to remove the footer, click on the footer button and select remove footer from the list of options. In the same way, you select the footer button and then you select remove footer from the options. And then the footer from the page will also be removed. This is how you can remove the header and footer that you have added in your page. Understood? And now students, what are the different steps to change the page border and page color? How can you format the page border and page color? Okay. See, the first one is steps to apply a page border to a page. How can you apply a border? We apply a border to a page to make it look more attractive and more highlighted. Okay. So these are the following steps by which you can add border to your page. The first point is click on the design tab. Where will you click? Firstly, you will click on the design tab. Okay. After that, select page border in the page background group. After clicking on the design tab, there is a page background group. And from there, you will select the page border. In the page background group, you will select the page border. Okay. Then the border and shading dialog box will appear. When you select the page border in the page background group, a dialog box will appear which contains the border and shading. The border and shading dialog box will appear. Choose any of the listed border design and then you will find different border design. You can choose according to your requirement. Whatever border you want to choose, you choose according to your whatever you desire to choose, and then you click on OK button. First of all, you will click on the design tab, and after that in the page background group you will select the page border, and after that the border and shading dialog box will appear. From there you can select your desired border design and then you can click on OK. The border will be formatted in your page. Understood? And students, how can you change the color of the page? The document page is usually white in color. Yes or no? You can make it colorful to look it more attractive. To make it look more attractive. And how can you change? The first point is same, click on the design tab. Okay. Then click on page color option in the background group. in the page background group, you will find the page color option. Select the desired color and the color of the page will be changed. This is how you can change the page border and page color in your Word document. Understood? And now students, what is quick print? The quick print option enables to print something with a single click. The document that we have made. This quick print option, it allows us to print something with a single click. Understood? Then this feature prints the document using the default setting and the default printer. And how does it print? This prints the document using the default setting and the default printer. The printer that you have connected with your computer. It uses the default setting and the default printer to print the document. Then by using the quick print option, we can print the whole document. And by using this quick print option, we can print the whole document that we have made. Okay, and if only want to print a part of the document, use the print pen. And if you want to print only a specific part of the document, if you don't want to print the whole document, and when you want to print only the specific part of the document, select that part and then use the print pen. That selected part or the part of the document will be printed. Okay. Then what are the steps to access quick print button? How can you use this quick print option? First, click on the drop down arrow on the right side of the quick access toolbar. Okay, in the quick access toolbar, you click on the drop down arrow on the right side of the quick access toolbar. Then again, select quick print if it is not already checked. If it is not checked, you select the quick print option. This is how you can access the quick print button in MS Word. Understood? So students, this is all about the different formatting options that is in the MS Word 2013. 2013 is the new version of MS Word, okay? So these are the different formatting options by which you can edit your text or the page, okay, that you have made in your MS Word document. It makes the page or the text looks more attractive. That is why we format something. We format something to make it look more attractive and more noticeable. Okay. So students, that's all for today. In the next class, I will continue with the next topic. Okay. And I will also give you the question answers, the worksheet of this chapter in the next class. Till then, see you again and take care of yourself.